Alright, that little sailboat, it's called a sunfish, or a sailfish. Sunfish, yeah. That's a fun little boat. I'm really, really good on them. And those little guys over there, they're like little dinghies. And they're a hell of a lot of fun too. I'm really good on them. This thing, not so much. Never really gone anywhere with it. Never sailed it myself. This is actually the first time I've gone anywhere on it by myself from the where I worked on it and back. My uncle was with me on the way down. I drove it, but he was there as a instructional aid. And yeah, those little boats are really fun. The wind's picking up a little bit, so they'll be a lot more fun soon. I don't know why that one guy's heeled over so bad. I popped back up. But after a week of 16, 18-hour days on this, those little guys really seem like where it's at. They only draw about 2 feet of water. This one draws about 5. Those things get stuck, you hop out and you push it off. This thing gets stuck, you screwed, you got to call a tow truck. If there's no wind, you can paddle it with your hands. I guess anything to win the race. Those little power boats are Boston whalers. They're the judges, they're the refs, they're the markers. You got to sail around them. Somewhere down here, I might have passed it, is a boat a boat that my father had in the late 60s, early 70s, first real boat experience I had. The thing was kind of neat. I think it was launched in 1931, right before Prohibition was repealed. I believe the boat was built to run liquor for Joe Kennedy out of Massachusetts. But Prohibition was repealed shortly after it hit the water, so I guess it didn't have a very colorful career. It was a rum runner. I've left the Barnegat Bay, and now I'm into the Toms River. It's kind of a cute little Downeaster. Right down there is the most important thing in the world to me. That little thing between the radio and the Raytheon screen is a depth finder. And that tells me how much water I have underneath me. Right now I'm at 6 feet under the boat. The boat draws about 5.5. So that means I'm in about 11 feet of water, which is good. Because it's a river, the channel is very reasonably good. And then been told that there's some extremely shallow spots that come up on you abruptly, where 10 feet past the channel marker, you're down to 2 feet of sand, and that's the kind of stuff that'll stick this thing fast. And there isn't a huge dramatic tide to wait it out and lift it off. It's kind of tow truck time, and I don't really want to get involved in tow trucks just yet. Not going fast, but you can see how fast I'm going compared to that buoy. But the boat's not handling sluggish, so that means it's not taking on water, and that's a pretty good thing. A lot of these houses during Hurricane Sandy, this area wasn't too affected. There was some flooding, you know, the water came up, but as bad as the coast got it, this is inland enough where it really didn't get beat up too much, which is why originally my uncle brought the boat down here, and why, aside from the boat lifting up a little bit and then dropping down a little bit with the tide, not a hell of a lot happened. Right up front to the, that's the River Lady, and she's a kind of a river stern drive riverboat paddle wheeler. It's pretty cool. She goes past, she's docked just past me. So you see her come and go a couple times a day on tours and excursions, and I guess dinner trips and things, which is pretty neat. So I really don't know where the channel is, so I'm going to guess if I head near her, be near the channel. Because she probably runs at least as deep as I do. Maybe less, probably a flat bottom, I don't know. And down here the water is reasonably deep, and up ahead it gets real narrow and shallow. So I wish I ran across her earlier on, so you give me a better idea where I'm going. Interesting facts about the boat. It was built in 1967 in Hong Kong when they were knocking down the teak forests. So the American Marine set up shop over there and used Grand Banks nautical engineers, boat builders, whatever, got their plans to build boats. They built a lot of them, everything from like lobster boats to you know, fishing boats, whatever. But there was only 5 of this boat built. And from what I understand, I think there's 3 left. It's a pretty neat boat. It's got like a 2,500 mile it'll go like 2,500 miles just on the engines. So the whole 1,200 gallons of fresh water. It's made to go from point A and point B is real far off. But the interesting thing about it is that, as neat as it is and as big as it is, because it's an old wood boat, it's got absolutely no value. I got it from my uncle because I have a lot of memories on it. I had a lot of memories on this thing, and he had to get rid of it, so I got it. So bought a slip that came with a boat, and that's how I wound up with it. Trying to keep an eye on the River Lady. I'm also trying to keep an eye on the depth finder because I'm getting into the shallower water. Okay, right up there are the buoys. This is where it's kind of tricky. They kind of did a half-assed job digging out the channel. Don't have a horn button out here. I honked to her. I think that boat and this boat and another one called the River Girl are the two big distinct looking boats in the area. And everybody seems to know them. Everybody recognizes them. So whenever anybody sees you on the boat, you know, they start telling you all about it. Big waves coming. Yeah. Real big. Alright, I'm starting to get into some more shallow water. It's kind of concerning. Alright. I'm going to cut this one off because I got to figure out where I am. Y'all take care.